the Series 200 ultrasound imaging system from Diasonics. This affordable, compact unit is ideally suited for private offices, clinics, and mobile services. Different options are available with some units, but this tape will review all the capabilities and operating procedures for a fully outfitted Series 200 ultrasound system. We'll start by explaining the organization of the Series 200, then move on to a setup procedure, and finally, we'll begin scanning. The major components of the Series 200 include a display monitor, a main control panel, a storage area for special options, and a rear audio-video connector panel. 3 sections divide the 9-inch viewing monitor: an image display area, a separate text field, and an ECG trace area. The text field has entry space for the examination parameters: patient identification, current date, time, selected probe, transmit power, depth, processing curve, and DGC. And the ECG trace area allows the operator to visually reference events in the cardiac cycle. The main control panel administers both data entry and image display. It's organized into 3 sections with an alphanumeric keyboard, major operating controls, and in selected units, an ECG module. To enter text information, the keyboard is used as a simple typewriter, but there are several keys that serve unique functions. These dual function keys will be explained later in the context of their use. The major operating controls are grouped according to function and are located for easy access: the display controls for image manipulation, the linear array module for activating the linear array probes and selecting focal zones for OB/GYN scanning, the M-mode controls for setting the M-line cursor and sweep rates, the measurement keys for generating calculations within images, the depth gain compensation pots, the transmit power and reject control knobs for adjusting echo signals, the cursor controls or arrow keys for positioning text entries in the display area, the joystick for tracing images, and the VTR copy and freeze buttons for retaining images. The ECG module for cardiac applications has a separate key grouping to the upper left of the keyboard. 2 storage shelves leave room for options such as a multi-format camera or strip chart and videotape recorder. The rear panel connects the incoming leads for a matrix camera or VCR and offers extra channels out to other recording or viewing equipment. The strip chart interface is located to the right of this panel. The Series 200 is designed for easy mobility from one exam area to another, and setup is equally uncomplicated. After placing the Series 200 next to the patient, choose your probe and select one of 2 line connections located under the main control panel. The linear array receptacle is closest to the middle, while the sector connection is to the right. Connect the foot switch plug under the middle left panel. Now plug the power cable into an active 3-prong power outlet. The main power switch on the Series 200 is located on the left side panel. When powered up, the switch is backlit, and the Series 200 monitor displays a chevron and some preset graphics in the text field. Just prior to your examination, you'll want to enter information both in the text field and in the image display area. To enter the name of your clinic or hospital, press the Shift and Hospital keys simultaneously. A flashing cursor appears in the upper left corner of the screen. Type in your hospital name. The patient's name may also be entered here. Then press the Exit key to complete this entry. To enter patient ID information, press the ID key located just below the arrow keys. A cursor appears in the first line of the text field. Type in the ID number and then press Enter. Press Shift and the dual function key marked Clock to insert the date and time. Type in a full 2 digits for each date entry, then using the arrow keys, drop a line for the time, or you can skip this category by pressing Enter. To annotate an image, press the Text key, located just below the arrow keys. A cursor appears on the second line of the upper left corner. Type in your information at this point, or move the cursor to another position by pressing the arrow keys. Touching the Enter key drops the cursor to the following line at the left margin. If a word needs to be moved after it's been entered, place the cursor at any point under the word and press Shift-Z. The arrow keys will now control movement of the entire word to a new position. This feature enables a quick annotation of images for reports and referring physicians. Pressing Shift-Z again releases this function and restores control of the cursors to the arrow keys. To end this function, press Text once again. You can correct letters or words by backspacing and then typing over the mistake. To erase an entire line, place a cursor on the line and press Shift and Line simultaneously. Pressing Shift and Page blanks the entire page. To leave this function, press either Text or Exit. At the start of the scanning session, you'll want to adjust the display monitor for viewing convenience. Also, set the brightness and contrast controls located on the right side of the monitor. Now we'll review the major operating procedures under scanning conditions. The DGC panel is located between the arrow keys and the joystick. These 6 sliding levers enable you to manually control the intensity of the signals that make up the image. Each slide control adjusts the amplification of echoes received from a specific depth in the body. Imaging depths are dependent on the type of probe in use. Sliding a lever to the right increases gain, while sliding to the left decreases, as shown here. Along with the changing signal intensities in the image, a display of the DGC curve helps you interpret these manual adjustments as you make them. While manual control of the DGC gives you an ability to fine-tune an image, there are occasions when an automatic adjustment is more convenient. Pressing the Auto DGC button disables 5 of the 6 slide controls and activates an automatic depth gain compensation. Notice the immediate adjustment in this image as the Auto DGC button is pressed. Sliding the 6th control to the left decreases the brightness of the image. Sliding it to the right increases gain. The transmit power is used in conjunction with the DGC controls and is usually set according to the patient's size or overall tissue attenuation. This control raises and lowers all the echo signals simultaneously by adjusting the electrical power transmitted to the probe. Turning the control counterclockwise sends the least amount of energy to the probe and, as a result, the least amount of ultrasound into the body. A screen reference always shows the transmit power setting. The reject control can help to eliminate low-level signals that tend to hide some anatomical details. Turning the control toward maximum or minimum adds or subtracts levels of amplitude in an image. A normal setting for reject control is 1 or 2 clicks from the minimum setting. The reject control does not change the system gain, so reject settings are not reflected in the DGC curve. 5 image processing keys allow the operator to independently balance large and small echo signals so they come closer to having the same grayscale intensity. The linear curve displays all images in true proportion to the incoming signal strength. This position provides the largest grayscale signal separation over the entire range of signals. The S-curve will give you the best separation of the medium range signals. And at the other end of the spectrum, the heavy curve brightens the weaker signals, giving them an intensity closer to the stronger ones. Combinations of the linear, S, and root processing curves are most often used in radiology and OB studies. The S, root, and light keys are used more frequently in cardiac studies. And you don't have to guess which curve is in use. The curve is always noted below the DGC box. 6 keys in the display panel control and manipulate the image you wish to view. The depth key toggles between 2 optional depth displays. Specific depths vary with different probes, so you might want to refer to the manual for correlations between each new probe attachment. The Magnify button doubles the size of the real-time screen image. Simply press Mag and then move the joystick to locate any portion of the image for viewing. To aid in keeping standard image orientation and to help in image analysis, 3 image inversion keys can change the display orientation. The right-left invert key toggles the image display orientation from right to left or back again. An asterisk in the image display identifies the top of the scan head on screen. Activating this key will only invert a real-time image. It will not affect a frozen image. The black-white invert switch inverts the video polarity from white on black to black on white. Real-time images are most frequently viewed as white on black. M-mode displays, on the other hand, are more commonly seen as black on white. Pressing the top-bottom key once inverts the image orientation from top to bottom. This image change is typically used for 2 or 4 chamber adult cardiac scans and subcostal pediatric images. If optional videotape, strip chart recording equipment, or a multi-format camera accompanies your Series 200, you may retain recorded images simply by pressing the VTR or copy keys located just below the joystick. Determining the size of anatomical structures is easy with the Series 200's measurement panel. Distance measurements can be made in either real-time, as in biopsy, or freeze mode. After selecting an image for measurement, first press the distance key. Now, using the joystick, position the first cursor at the beginning point of the measurement. Press Mark to lock in this position. Place the second cursor at the end point of the measurement and press Mark again. The distance is automatically calculated and displayed in the measurement box at the base of the text field. 2 measurements can be made on the same image. With a general-purpose probe, you can use any of 4 pre-programmed or 1 operator-programmed OB charts. You'll want to consult the operator's manual to program a chart of your own. Fetal measurements should be collected by using the distance key as just described. After obtaining these, press Calc. The available chart numbers and their title will appear on the monitor. Now select the number of a chart you wish to use by pressing that number key on the keyboard. The title of the chart, the number of weeks gestation, and the calculated distance will be displayed in the text field. If the measurement is too large or too small for the chart, an over-range prompt appears. To leave the calculation mode and return to a real-time mode, press Exit and then Freeze. To measure area and perimeter, press the Area Per key and, with the joystick, position the cursor at the starting point of the measurement. Press Mark, then outline the complete area with the cursor, pressing Mark again when this is complete. When this procedure is finished, the calculation for the area and perimeter will appear in the measurement box at the base of the text field. Press Freeze to release the image and continue or call up further measurements. To calculate length, press the key marked LEN. Again, use the joystick to position the cursor at the beginning of the measurement. Trace the area of interest and press Mark when complete. The length will be automatically calculated and displayed. You'll want to refer to the manual for a full review of the optional biopsy kit, assembly, and protocol. For measurements, first correctly attach the needle guide and drape the probe. Then press the key marked BIOP in the measurement panel. You'll see a 15-second warning appear on the display screen, followed by the on-screen brackets. By pressing the BIOP key twice in succession, you can select guidelines to intersect the image at 15 or 30 degrees, with the corresponding angle readout in the text field. The on-screen markers guide penetration to a depth of 20 centimeters with every 5th centimeter identified. With the use of a general-purpose probe, your Series 200 is capable of displaying both M-mode and B-scan images. To activate M-mode, first press the cursor key on the M-mode panel. You'll see an M-line cursor appear, superimposed on the image. This can be positioned by using the joystick. Now press the blue on-off key, which activates the time sweep mode. Moving the cursor with the joystick momentarily returns the image to B-scanning, and then recalls M-mode. The rate control key sequences through 3 different M-mode sweep rates as it is pressed. These rates will be noted in the text field and can be visually referenced by tick marks at the base of the screen. To toggle between M mode and sector real-time, or simply to end this function, press the on-off key. This concludes our overview of the Series 200 ultrasound system from Diasonics. This video manual should give you a good start in understanding your new system. Refer to the written manual that accompanies your Series 200 for more information on operating procedures. And if you need further assistance, call our Diasonics customer service line.